because the audio on the microphone got so bad that we had to move locations, you guys, to a different part of the theater. But we made it work. We got it together, and it turned out to be, to me, I think it turned out amazing.
I think so too.
It was really fun. So we have it loaded up for y'all now. So go ahead and take a look at the bloopers and outtakes from the season 2 premiere of Shock Nation.
Well, it was so good being on the red carpet for the season 2 premiere of Shock Nation.
And thank you all for tuning in, not only to the interviews, but also the series. And we will see you soon back at the Radio on Fire Studios at the square table, because we don't do things round, honey. We will see you probably next week.
Take care, y'all.
To this shit, 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 to this shit.
If you haven't seen season 1 yet, you must go now to watch it before season 2 gets uploaded. You don't want to watch season 2 first and then season 1.
Right, one comes before 2. That's how math works.
I think. I don't know, I'm blonde. But yes,
I don't think that's the word for it.
What were you gonna say?
You said you blind because you can't count.
No, I'm blind.
He's blonde.
Oh, blind. That's what you said, blind.
Be sure to be really loud when you talk.
Okay, so would it be rude if I told him to just shut the up real quick? Okay. Excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Michael Swain back again for Out the Box Radio. We have Logan Dorsey.
Lauren
Dorsey. We're gonna do that again. Cut.
Just go.
Why did I say Logan?
Sorry, I'm still looking at my shoes.
It's fine.
Where'd you get your shoes from, Jared? That's Jared.
I don't remember where I got these shoes. You know what? I got them from Jason Payne.
Did you?
Yeah.
You have the square ones. I have little Pinocchio ones. Look, y'all. Pinocchio.
I ain't taking off my shoes just so you can see them. You can see my good socks, but...
So, Jared, we are not in the studio right now, obviously.
No, we in a movie theater.
We are in a movie theater. Now, we're always capturing interviews and live guests in studio. So how does it feel to be out the studio? We finally got out the box. Literally out the box.
And we said we was going to get out the box, too. We said that... There's someone...
Who's that? Is that Kimmy?
It might be Kimmy.
I see a gold shimmer.
I do see a gold shimmer. She's looking beautiful like the Oscar statue. If it was a woman.
Look at her. If I was straight.
Yeah, we really are.
Oh, you know what? I know that you are a dancer as well. You used to dance, right? Now you have a dress on. So I'm not going to ask you to do nothing too crazy. Okay. But I want you to bust a move or something. Show us what you got. Show the viewers what you got.
Okay, I'm gonna bust a move like.
Just doing it in the dress.
In the heels.
That is Golden Globe realness for you right here. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You know it.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're filming.
I'm toting the back here.
Y'all we are filming.
These are the toms. These are the big. This is the bass drum.
I'm recording all of that.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Talking to all of the cast and the crew and.
How do you feel, Jared?
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to do that again.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you
Well, we're still filming.
All right.
We were still talking about what Jared was
I pay
saying.
attention.
All right, and action.
Oh my gosh, y'all, that was so much fun.
Oh yes, it was.
To this shit.
Yo.
Okay.
That was funny, wasn't it? That had me dying.
I just want to apologize
For the editing?
for the editing because you all know that I would never say those type of words out of my mouth.
So Janae did not. Well, you heard her in the first part where she said
the
we
first
tell them to
part
shut.
I did
But when she actually was talking to the people, she kindly said, "Do they mind stepping to the side because it's picking up background noise?" But because I like to cause drama, when I edited the video, I wanted to make her seem like the villain.
So funny.
So I wanted to make it so she was cussing him out, but she didn't cuss him out.
But even watching Rick, shout out to Rick Palmer. Hey. Even his reaction.
He walked right off. Like he walked right off. I was done in RB. It was really funny.
Hilarious.
So y'all make sure y'all go to the actual video, watch the whole thing. It's some good interviews. We had a lot of good interviews. The cast were amazing. Very talented people. Some were kind of newbies and some were more of the experts, if you will, in the industry who've been in seasoned associates, seasoned actors who've been in the game for a while. So it's a good mix, great personalities. But we had a really good time. I can't wait to go back and do another red carpet event.
That's so fun.
It was fun.
It looked like a blast.
It was a blast. Honey, you was cussing them out.
Yes, I cussed them out.
So JoJo.
Yes.
JoJo.
Yeah.
I think you have some stuff you brought to the table
I
that you wanted to talk about.
I did. So I've been
Let's
having
talk
this
about
conversation with someone, with my boo.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know from you all and you two and whomever the importance of stimulating your partner, and not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. Hey, like, why is that so important? You know, why is it important? Is it important for all factors, the physical, the mental, the emotional? Should it just be physical? Should it just be mental? Should it just be emotional? Maybe people need different things. Maybe they just need you to stimulate them emotionally. They don't need anything else. Or maybe they just need to be, you just need to be there for them mentally. And they don't need anything else. Or do they not know that they need all three?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I personally think that all three, if you're in a serious situation, all three is important. Now, based off of who the person is, one, you may need to pay more attention to one over the other. Some people may need it equally spread out.
Spread eagle, girl.
Yes, spread
Stimulate it, honey. Stimulate it.
Yes, but stimulation is very important, especially.
Wait a minute. You was caressing that brush over there. You was getting into it. You was getting into whatever you about to say.
Hi, y'all. Especially physically. Shit, I'm just gonna say it.
So that's at the top of your list of all the categories physically.
For me.
Okay.
For me.
Janae needs physical stimulation.
But it doesn't always have to be sexual. Okay.
Well, hold on now. If you're gonna say physical stimulation and not sexual, then which ways?
Like,
which other ways physically?
Well, not like the action of sex. I'm very I'm very affectionate. So like just holding my hand.
Yeah.
Or yes. Or rubbing my back, or kissing my face.
Well, girl, you
just
got
something
that.
like that. Like that's very important to me.
Okay. I agree.
I agree.
So what about you two? What if you had to rank it? What's at the top of your list?
I think for me, I think emotionally would be first, but I don't know. I think this also has to do though with like what your love language is. Like for me, I know physical and then like words of affirmation are mine. That's how I know. That's how I feel most love is like communication and then like just physical touch, like you were saying, just like affection. So those are definitely the top two of mine. But I also think it's also important to stimulate each other like spiritually as well.
Oh yeah.
Whatever
Definitely.
that means to you as like individuals and then as a couple.
Right.
But like that's also a good one, I think, to throw in the mix.
Yeah, spiritual is a big one. Now, somebody I'm gonna be with, we have to be equally yoked. We have to believe the same thing.
Right.
We got to, or it's just not gonna work. I don't care. You could be doing everything emotionally for me, physically, mentally, but if we are not equally yoked, it will not work. Okay.
True.
What about you?
Well, stimulation. Okay, you're probably not gonna believe me because I'm, usually a freak. But I will say that I think more mentally, it's important to me to be stimulated because once my brain starts going, and that starts working up there, and things start moving in different directions, and I'm in different thought processes, if you will. That's what's gonna get me motivated. Is if you mentally are able to stimulate me, keep me engaged, keep me active, keep me focused. I do think, like what Kelsey was saying, communication is the biggest thing for me So that can tie into emotional as well. But I do think that really hits mental. Because if you can't communicate and you're not doing what you need to do, I don't care if you're the best sex in the world, I can get that anywhere. I'm not worried about that.
Sure though.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's replaceable is the point.
Right.
Like
exactly.
that.
Is it though?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm like, trying to be a hoe, and especially not no more, because I got a ring on my finger. But I'm just saying, like, I've had my fair share, and I don't care about just sex. It's not important. Plus, I'm getting older, so I'm not young anymore. When you're younger, that's what you focus on, and that's you. But I'm not focused on that no more. I gotta find other ways to keep me going.
I am still very much focused on it. I'm just.
I mean, there's not a problem with that, and I think. No, I can't say that. That's not true.
It's very important.
I agree.
I mean, it is. It is very important to me. But that's to me.
No, that's not bad though,
That's
because
also
if
the physical aspect,
right,
like you like physical affection and love, and that is a part of it.
I mean, if people can't stimulate you physically, and even if you are talking about sexually, that's fine. Let's get into it. Then you will have you're gonna sign out. You're gonna cop out a little bit. You're gonna back up, and you're gonna start looking elsewhere if you're not getting satisfaction in different areas. So that's not a problem. They should be able to stimulate you sexually as well.
Yes.
Yes. Because anybody can kiss, honey, but don't mean you feel nothing from it.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have that chemistry in order for that kiss to mean something.
And I think that comes from like liking them as a person, and that's probably more mental and emotional.
Yeah.
Sometimes build stuff there.
So you telling me anytime someone gives you a kiss, your lips pucker, and I don't mean those ones, honey.
Well, the thing is that I don't kiss people.
Well, what you mean? You just said you would get stimulated when people kiss you, and
right, not people.
Well,
somebody that I'm with.
Well, hopefully.
But Tamika, to answer your question, Tamika asked, "What does unequally yoked mean to me?" Unequally yoked spiritually is we don't believe the same things. A lot of the time it's with two different religions. You may have someone that is atheist and Christian, or Muslim and Jewish.
Yeah.
It's just there's always going to be a spiritual battle, and it happens a lot where you may meet somebody who religiously just believes something completely different, but they check all the rest of the boxes. They tend to you physically, they tend to you mentally, emotionally. They are everything that you've ever wanted, but for me, the spiritual aspect is very important. Some people, it's not that important to them, so they can bypass that. But if we cannot see eye to eye on that aspect, it's not going to work for me. We have to be on one accord when it comes down to that, because it's always going to be some type of a clash spiritually. We in the same household, and if anybody knows anything about the spiritual world, it's always, we are consistently living in a spiritual warfare driven time. I mean, that's just what it is. And if you're in the house with somebody that is just completely opposite of you, spiritually, it's a battle all the time. So, that's what that means to me.
I mean, that's a good point, though.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't actually had a conversation about that topic before, and if I have, it's been a long time. But I think a lot of people, especially if you're in the younger crowd, will probably focus on just one, or their thought processes on probably sexual or physical. But that's not the only thing you should be looking at. To me, that doesn't build chemistry.
Yeah. And Tamika, to say, I dated a Jehovah's Witness as well at one point in my life. And he and I would always have some type of battle when it came down to what we believed.
Right.
Jehovah's Witnesses believe some of the craziest things. One of the things being that they feel like only 144,000 people are going to heaven. Now, where the hell do you see that in the Bible? Now, you see the number 144,000 as witnesses that come back, But not only 144 people out of the millions of people are making it into heaven. It's just the little things. And then, like, they don't celebrate Christmas or something like
holidays.
that because it's paganistic.
Right.
And my thing would be, well, if you're going to take it that far, I said this to my, I'm gonna move on. I said this to my ex one day because we got into a big argument. And he's like, you know, we don't celebrate that. It's a paganistic ritual and this is that. I'm like, so what's today? What's today? That day happened to be Monday. I said, okay, today is Monday. Do you not know that you just participated in a paganistic ritual? What you mean? What I mean is that when the days of the week were set up, they were set up after gods of each day. Monday is after the god of Mon. You just participated in a paganistic ritual. So if you want to sit up here and yell at me for celebrating Christmas, then you need to figure out other words to use when you want to speak about the days of the week. So it's little things like that. And then it got to be just a whole big mess. But, you know, but to each his own. If you are happy and if you are at peace, then I'm happy for you, sweetie. Trust me, I am, girl.
I think it also is part of it to do with like the way people handle that type of communication, like when you don't believe the same things. Like coming at somebody and telling them that they're wrong for what they believe in when it's somebody that you love, it just doesn't make sense. And there's a foundational issue in that relationship rather than just spiritual disagreements, you know?
Right.
I think I could I am Christian, but I also think I could end up with somebody who was of a different religion as long as we had the communication and the discussion of what it is that God means to us. I think like a lot of times it's just how you practice that's different in a lot of religions, and like to do it separately or for it to be different for each of us. You know, everybody has their own relationship with God or the universe or whatever it is that you whatever it is you do.
Right.
And it's all good, you know, not to, and I've never been, because like I said, I've dated someone that's a Jehovah's Witness. I've talked to people that were Muslim, and we just don't believe the same things. Not to take anything away from the people that they were and things that they made me feel, I made them feel. Right. You know, I learned a lot from the relationships, but just me as me and who I am, it will never work if we're not on the same page spiritually.
Right.
Makes sense to me.
Muslims are no, girl, child. You ain't got to listen. I got stories about. I got stories.
She does. She do. She do.
But I have another question.
Okay.
And of course, and I really want to have this. This is a discussion that is going to need more than just a couple of minutes that we're going to talk about it. But who is harder to please, men or women?
Women.
Women are harder to please.
Hands down.
What you think?
There's no denying that women are harder to please.
Why do you guys feel like women are harder to please?
Women have more needs than men do.
Like,
I think it's like.
What do you mean, like? Who does not agree with that? I'm not trying to say I'm being stubborn or right, but I'm just saying who does not agree with that. There's many needs that women have, and probably more needs than what men. Well, I just think men are more one-track minded, and I hate to say that, guys, but y'all are. 9 times out of 10, to where their focus is elsewhere, or they say, I ain't got to worry about that. I'll just go and do this instead, or what. Their needs are much different. They can be met much easier, unless if it's something, a really strong connection of some sort, where they're in their feelings about something. And I don't think that they need as much pleasing or attention as women do.
You think?
I know.
I think it varies based on the individuals, of course, but I do think that it's generally women. Just because I think, though, we have to account for so many things in the future. And we're always reminded of it as well. Right. Like that, your biological clock is ticking. Yes. Like, you have to worry about families. You have to worry about your own career. You have to worry about fitting into this type of image. It's just different pressures. Way, way, way more pressures than men. And I don't think that that's even questionable.
So,
I agree.
Because you feel like women have more needs, that means that we're harder to please?
Yeah, it's a lot of boxes to check.
Yeah, it is a lot of boxes. It'll take a lot more buckets to fill.
Yep.
Before they're fulfilled.
I have some very high standards. I don't know if they're reasonable anymore, but they're there.
But they're there, yes.
See, my opinion is, and I agree with the people that said the men.
Mm-hmm.
Women are a lot more verbal
Mm-hmm.
than men. So men are not going to come out and tell you what it is that they want and what they need. But men are needy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are. And if we're going to associate need to hard to please, then I would have to say that men are harder to please.
You think men are harder to please?
Yes. Because, and I'm going to tell you why, they make it difficult for a lot of women because they're not verbal.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do all types of tricks and flips and all types of shit to
This is
figure
true.
out what it is that you want. And a lot of the time, y'all don't know what y'all want.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what it is that you want, and because you don't know what it is that you want, it makes it harder for me to figure it out. And so I'm trying to figure you out, and you don't know what it is that you want. It's just women. We can tell you what it is that we want. We can tell you what it is that we need, and we can tell you how to accomplish those things. So that's easy. All you gotta do is listen and pay attention. Y'all don't talk. Y'all are not
so would
verbal.
you say a man who is not communicating is harder to please versus a woman who is more emotionally connected is harder to please? Like, which one would you say in that case?
I would
Because
say still the man, because because communication is key.
mm-hmm.
I don't know what I can do for you unless you tell me. If I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, okay, these are my needs.
meet them.
Yes, meet them. And if you have a hard time, I can tell you how to do it.
Right.
I can give you
Direction.
This is what I need. This is
Men-
what I
men
like.
don't
this
lay it
is
out
what
like
I
that.
don't like. This is the. It's out there.
That's true, but honestly, and I don't know if it's because I'm like younger, I find that a lot of my friends don't do that to guys. They will. They literally, they will never ever spell it out and like just flat out. They think I'm bold as hell just because I'll literally be like,
Y'all
no, that's
expect
not
us
okay.
to know what you said in theory is right, but that's not how it works, janae. Because
He always
okay,
trying to battle me.
men are simple. Even though we don't communicate, it's only like 3 things we want.
Yeah.
So even if we don't say it, all you gotta do is run down the list. It's a short list. It's only 3 things on the list. So
Gary.
with
That's not even a
women,
list. It's
y'all
just-
expect us to know these things or to be engaged enough to be able to know your partner. So
You
y'all
should be
take a lot of these
engaged.
things. So y'all are harder to please because the skill level of the man depends on whether or not you are happy. And if you were with a guy who is not observant, not
Most men.
not empathetic to
Most men.
that's what I'm saying. So that's why it's harder to please y'all.
No,
we
it's
don't
harder to
require
please
those
you.
things.
Yes, you do.
No, we
yes,
don't.
Yes, you do. Yes,
We
because
don't.
you
We require
you're not being
food,
honest. That's,
sex,
no,
quiet.
It's more than that.
Quiet.
And you know
That's
it.
what we require.
Quiet is the
More
third
than
one.
that.
Yes,
Because
and women never
Quiet.
stop talking. So that's
it's more than that. It's so and that's so
No,
surface,
it's
and
really-
that's what I'm saying.
But that's because we're
I feel
easy.
you.
It's so
We're
surface
easy.
because if you think about it, men hold a whole lot on their shoulders.
Sure.
Okay, men
They don't express themselves very well.
just by birth
Nobody cares.
are providers.
Nobody
And
cares.
see, and that's the
Mother's
thing.
Day, big
No,
deal.
we
Father's
do.
Day, blip on the map.
And
That's
because-
just how
and
it is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and because y'all
So
feel
who's
like nobody,
easier to get something for
Listen,
Father's Day for?
If you and that's
Huh?
that's
Well,
exactly
women
what
or
I'm saying.
men?
It's so
Who's
surface
that?
because y'all don't communicate what it is that you
Because we
have
don't
an issue
care.
with. You do care. It bothers you.
No, no.
But see, the thing is that because you guys are not so y'all not emotionally
Connected or
made
attached.
up like a woman. So it's you kind of
'Cause we're easy.
It.
I
You just
also-
cover it, but it's not easy because what happens is
100%
you just have a
easier
real surface
than women.
thought process.
Because we're primitive.
You have
We're not complicated.
it's not no, you are complicated. You are because again, we don't know what it is that you need. All we know is it's a lot on a man's shoulders. Y'all are born providers, and you go through and you got to deal with a whole lot that a lot of women don't understand, but we not going to understand.
Food, sex, and quiet is what we need.
Because if that be the case, it's a lot of women that give food, sex, and quiet.
Nope, not quiet. Nope, not
and
quiet.
Y'all still cheat,
well,
and you still
you
go
get confused.
off.
We ain't talking about cheating.
No, we do. It all goes hand in hand.
Well, I don't know. That is
you
a whole
can get
different.
everything that you could
topic.
possibly
That's a whole nother topic.
From a woman.
Cheating is an individual event. It has nothing to do with your mate. It has to do with you yourself. It's nothing that you can buy or give or do to make someone not cheat. It's a decision that they make themselves. So if you are of the mindset that you think that you can do something to make the man not cheat, you're wrong.
The thing is that even down to
Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. I'm telling you, it has nothing to do.
I mean, but see,
they got everything. She's a beautiful woman.
No, but see, and that's very surface. Y'all have this very surface outlook on everything. You don't know what the fuck.
And women don't listen to men.
Beyonce could be the most just crazy.
She could be like Solange, honey.
Exactly. You don't know. Y'all only see what it is.
Barack cheated on Michelle Obama. Now,
you don't know.
No, what I'm trying to explain to you that you don't listen is that the cheating has to do with the man or the woman who cheated, not the mate.
I understand that.
That's all I'm saying. And
so then you require more than just those three things. Yes, you do.
It's a mental thing. It's nothing that you can give me. It's if I decide I don't want to be with anybody other than you, then I won't. It's nothing. It don't have nothing to do with you. You got to do with me.
Gary, yes, you do. You need to come on here, Gary.
What I'll just say to Diamond's
here.
point is there's less needs that a man has than a woman. So women do need a lot more to be able to be pleased. Or they might not feel like one thing's enough
100%.
versus another. A lot of women have a whole bag full of tricks they need to pull out in order for them to meet their goals.
They got a lot of itches that need to be scratched.
I honestly think, though, that all of it is just, like, based on societal constructs. Like, it's like, it honestly just comes from the way that we separate. So I work also part-time, like, for that dating app Bumble.
I've seen you post about that.
Right.
Yeah,
So there's
Bumble.
something that our founder said in, like, it's this, like, podcast called, like, How I Built This or whatever, and it's with Whitney Wolf. It's a really good episode. But anyway, she said, like, the reason why she has the app created so that way women message first, among other reasons. But the first thing was that she found that dating was broken. And she thought that because, like, men are taught that to be go-getters, like, go get her, she says. Like, they're taught to pursue a woman. And then women are taught to play hard to get and to play games immediately. So right there, you're teaching two people that are supposed to be building a relationship together to do opposite things.
Right.
And then wondering why it doesn't work. And women hold on to playing games so often. And men do the same thing too.
Well, but, I got to take it biblical now. Okay.
BC.
The Bible says that a man who findeth a wife finds a good thing.
And that's probably where it came from.
You have to find her. And see, that's the problem with a lot of women. I look like I do look like my dad, I know, and I probably sound like him right now talking about the Bible says after I just got finished cussing somebody. I am a PK, yes. Hi, Zani, but even how that is how it was created. It's how it was created. We're the receivers. Men are the givers. Even down to sex.
Unless you're gay, because then sometimes it can go either or.
That's true.
that was my NeNe face.
But even down to sex. Just the whole the action of sex. We receive. Y'all insert, we receive.
Although there is some men who are little freaks out there who like women to do some crazy stuff to them.
That is
Have
true.
you ever had a man who wanted you to lick their ass?
Yes, I have. The Jehovah's Witness. As a matter of fact.
Wait a minute.
The Jehovah's Witness.
That was not expected. Wait a minute.
To eat his ass. And I said,
would you ladies
and that was the day that we broke up.
Would y'all ladies consider a man to be suspect or gay if he asked you that? I really want to know that.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he's gay.
There's something else going on.
But it doesn't mean he's gay. He got a dry booty. If a cat can lick their ass, why can't y'all? Why can't y'all lick
nobody's
dude's
ass? Not no man.
I think.
Like, what do you like? It's just even the visual of my man on his hands and knees.
What if he's on his back?
Yes, the Jehovah's Witness.
What if he's on his back and you
or
lifting
lifting his
legs up like a baby, like you changing his diaper? You just happen to put your face down there and do a little sniff test. Well, you have to do a sniff test before you lick any booty. Let me tell you that, because you do not want no surprise. Hershey Kisses are not meant for every time, and they're not meant to be given in that way, honey. I'm sorry, I veered off the damn topic now, but I will say that doesn't mean a guy's gay. He might be a porn star or a real freak.
He's gay.
He likes his booty licked. I'm sorry, y'all.
Some shit. Kelsey, you
that's
agree?
different. Yeah, I think that's just different.
It's just different.
It is much different.
But
he might have some unsatisfied needs.
From that moment, that was the last time I ever talked to a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah?
Huh?
He told you what he wanted.
He did.
Now it's different if he wants you to
that
put.
Is true.
It's different if he wants you to put on a little, strap and do something. That's a whole nother story. Then he's gay.
Now I've never had
Okay,
anybody.
if you want something to go in and fully penetrate, then something's wrong with that dude. But if he's okay with licking, he's just putting the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip ain't bad. Hashtag just the tip of your tongue.
No.
Anyway, now if you're going full force,
It goes anyway.
yes. Anyways, so are we staying on topic? Or are we switching? Are we switching to Kelsey now? Because Kelsey ain't got no nasty topics. She's
mine are way different.
She's taking it to she's educating us
Whole
today.
other ballgame.
Educating us today.
She's trying to educate us.
I feel like so this topic on who's harder to please, men or women, should definitely be a whole segment, because it's a whole
really
lot
should.
more that I have got to say. That I need to school you, man.
You should go on live on our
more
Out the Box
verbal.
radio show page.
They really do need to
go
be
live
more verbal.
and tell us what you think later on. We should all go live separately in videos and on Out the Box radio show.
Yes.
Ooh, what did I just say? Out the Box radio show. And go live, and people can comment what they think as well. Because I think everyone's, obviously it's about opinions. Everyone's going to have a difference of opinion.
And we can all learn.
And it's
from one
hard.
another.
Battle of the sexes, honey. When you're talking about guys and
That would be a
girls.
really good episode.
Yes, I agree, Kelsey.
Battle of the
We
sexes.
could all learn.
Battle of the
something from
sexes.
one another.
But I'm telling you one thing. The way to make it all peaceful is lick a booty. Next topic will be...
I was great. Now hold on, wait. Before we move, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Well, a lot of girls don't like
I don't
it.
like.
A lot of girls don't like that.
Is it if a girl? No, if a girl's ass is being licked, is that her style like being tossed, or is this her like eating her ass?
Well, that's a salad being tossed.
Okay, I don't like my salad tossed.
That's a salad being tossed. Yep. What?
When you going live after this? Okay, I'm gonna tune in. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, to each their own. To each their own.
It tickles.
It's not every. Well, I mean, you have to get used to it, but yes, it tickles. It depends. See, now there's a difference. I'm not gonna get nasty. Well, I've already been nasty. I'm not gonna get too far into it. But what I will say is, it's different for men because men have prostates, and I'm gonna say this, and it sounds so weird, but it's true. Google it. It's true fact. Men have prostates, so anything that's going against the prostate, which is close enough to the booty hole, will make it pleasurable. That's a fact.
Gary, you know,
whether you stick a tongue, a finger, or something else up in there, the end of this damn brush.
You want to do
if you hitting that prostate, honey, that's what makes a guy come much better. When I tell you fireworks, it'll be explosive. It will be explosive. You hear that's an ambulance coming because they know that some guys out there had their prostates beat up on today and they don't know what to do with themselves.
They don't know. You said whatever to please your whatever. Okay.
Whatever, honey.
All right.
Whatever. So
All right,
this,
switch topics.
yeah, let's switch. Complete switch. 360 over here. We're gonna hit it down to Kelsey on the end here. Now, Kelsey, we have a site that we're gonna bring up, and this site is courtesy of Kelsey as well, because this is your blogs, honey.
It is.
Now, tell us about what we're about to see on this blog that you have to show us.
So I wrapped up at the end of February. Actually, I realized that I had been doing acting full time for a year. So I took some time and like hashed out the top 10 things that I had learned from doing it. So that's just all we're going into.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. That's important because a lot of people who are watching are interested in this.
I want to hear your guys' feedback too on like whatever you guys think
Absolutely.
about these points. But they're slightly like in order. But the first one I do have, I think the read more might have to click on it. But like the first thing that I have is like, comfort breeds complacency. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's so easy to get stuck in your own routines of work and whatnot and trying to... There's Oprah.
I like that.
But, you know, I think that, like, I'm a really big risk taker typically.
Right.
And then it kind of dawned on me that I was still running in circles for the first couple months of doing, like, acting and stuff full time. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out why. And then what I realized was it was just small habits. Like, your habits have to shift, and you're so easy to just kind of get stuck.
Right.
You know, doing the same things over and over again, right?
So it's all about the habits as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of just got to get better at catching them, too, before it becomes, like, an issue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know?
And that's what was so... Okay, so so that was number one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what about number two?
It takes money to make money.
Oh, yes.
Hell yes. Say it again, girl.
It is expensive.
Yes.
Ooh.
It is expensive.
Expensive.
It's beyond expensive. It's like you have to, you know, I always tell people that you should have an actor's saving account as well.
Right.
And each portion of your paycheck or whatever, if you're going to go through and prep financially before taking on acting full time, take a little bit of your paycheck and just put it away every month or every time you get one, I guess, and you know, just add up like that.
I don't think people realize the cost.
Yeah, you have headshots, which are about $350 at least. You have classes, which are about $600 for a 6 week course or whatever.
Right.
Workshops that are casting workshops, that'll be about $400 for 3 hours of your life or whatever.
Right.
That irritates me.
And then if you're a union, that's a whole different story.
And then if you're a union, you have to pay your dues. And in order to get union, you need to save up because that's expensive.
It's super expensive.
It's super expensive, but like depending on your market, you could benefit, you know?
You could, but what makes it I mean, I guess you have to get your feet wet a little bit first because I could never, and kudos to you, Kelsey, for doing this and others who are out there doing this.
Yes.
I am not a risk taker anymore. So for me, I need an abundance of funding. I need to know that I'm financially secure, and now me and my partner are both financially secure. So I have to have my job. I could never leave full time to get into it, knowing that I don't have I have a possibility of not making it, and that's what scares me. And I've never been able to just jump into it fully because of that reason.
Yeah, it was a really interesting choice for me to quit my job because I was making the most money I'd ever made. I opened a store in Times Square, and I was like selling sunglasses, but it was more full-time than I wanted it to be. And it ended up there was one day that I was just in such a negative headspace that I found myself, I didn't go to my acting class. And I called my dad, and I was like, I'm going home, I'm not going to my acting class. And he goes, I think you know what you need to do. Yeah. If it's if it comes between acting classes or like whatever, because that's not like me to not
and that's
go.
your passion, entertainment. That's acting.
And if it's pulling that, and if it's weighing that hard on me, it's not the place that I need to be at. Right. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, and like I left it like I think it was the last day of February.
Do you feel like a weight was like lifted off your shoulders once you did that?
Yes and no. I felt like a whole new pressure was on. Like I had to figure out what I was going to do.
Right. Because there's no time to sit still.
Yeah, and exactly. And I couldn't just like not have some sort of plan. Like I'm lucky that I'm also young, but my parents do help me out financially. Good. So there are things that like I was capable of, and I wanted to use that as a blessing. Like it is. I need to, take advantage of it. But it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. But I totally get needing to be financially stable. Like I really, it's not for everybody. Yeah. It's about what you prioritize and what's important to you.
Exactly.
I know I cannot, like I said last week, on the show last week, I will not What show is this? This is Out the Box Radio show.
Hello.
Radio on Fire.
OTB.
I refuse to be that actress that had this testimony of I lived in my car and I was homeless. I don't want that. That cannot be me.
Right.
I refuse for it to be me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will be the one to say that yes, I came over to LA. I transferred my job.
Right.
I was able to do what I needed to do and still survive. And I still worked hard. I still put in the time, and I made it. I don't want Janae is not about to be living in nobody's car. She's not about to be living in nobody's. I'll sleep on the couch of a friend of mine's, but
only for so long, though.
Yeah.
Only for so long before I feel like a burden.
And then I'm buying groceries and stuff, you know.
Right.
Not to knock it, because
People do
everybody's path is different. But I know for me in my house, I refuse to do it. My pride won't let me do it.
So, I mean, Kelsey, okay, so I already forgot number one, the wording for it.
Comfort breeds complacency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I like that a lot.
and then we went over number 2.
It takes money to make money.
Takes money to make. Hell yes. Now, what's number 3?
Always hold yourself accountable.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's.
Oh, that is so important.
Yup.
That's very.
And
Always
it's
hold
something
yourself
that
accountable.
you-
Someone's
and
got to.
Yeah, you got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you're not doing. Like my notes in my phone, I look like if somebody read it. They probably think I was crazy. But I have like 1,000 to-do lists.
I do too.
And I just tap them off
I
on a
do
regular
too.
basis. But if I think I'm gonna get caught up in the day, I'll make like 1,000 alarms. I have alarms
Oh,
going
I
off
do
all
too.
day long.
You're not crazy.
Yep, alarms going off all day long for things that I need to do.
Right.
And that way, when you do make a checklist, for example, you're visually seeing what it is that you're not getting to and what you're choosing to not do.
Exactly.
You know?
Because it's yourself. You get in your own way a lot of times. There's no harm in being extra organized, honey.
I know.
I have several.
I'm so OCD sometimes.
I have several alarms and several Post-its all over my damn desk at work and several Post-it notes on my app on my phone. Trust me, I'm just that way. So what about number 4?
Giving yourself credit is crucial.
And I don't give myself that at all.
I don't
either.
I don't either.
And I find that most people don't give themselves,
Because we're told that it's not humble to
Yeah.
tell yourself what, or
Which
tell
is
other people
true.
what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's felt like, I don't know, people think like you're cocky sometimes.
Yeah,
or whatever.
like
but
she's
in
self-involved,
actuality,
but
But in actuality, though, like I really love seeing like when you guys do something and like other actors are doing something that they do share,
right.
or about like struggles as well,
Yeah.
the good things and stuff. And I think that that's so nice to know that we're not alone.
It takes so
It's
much
like-
to reach a goal when it comes to entertainment industry, and so much to get to that level, that I think it's important that you do sometimes toot your own horn, not to be boastful about it, but to be proud of the hard work you put in. Because other people are trying so hard as well, and maybe they're not making it for different reasons, and you don't want to make them feel ashamed, but you want to show them motivation that they can do it. If I can do it, you surely can do it.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
And I've really struggled with it because I felt like I wasn't seeing results fast enough, or the jobs weren't coming, as frequently as I thought that they should be.
Right.
But what I did was I decided to, for a week straight, write down 5 things that I accomplished that day, every single night. And it was everything from like made my bed, did my laundry, went
Right.
grocery shopping, to like, bigger things, like submitted for 20 projects, like
Right.
just did, huge things. And what I found was like my time, because it felt like I just wasn't doing anything in the day, because I'm in charge of my whole schedule, but given that and like writing down everything that I did accomplish, I realized that like I had actually been using my time pretty efficiently, which was why I had more of it.
Right.
Because like I would sit down, it really only takes me like, an hour to apply to jobs. Like
Right.
it doesn't take as long as I thought it should.
Right. And a lot of times you use the same can language and the same photos and bio.
I literally
resume.
copy and paste
I do too.
submission things.
I
half
copy
the
and paste
time.
and I tweak the language a little
I
bit.
really do. Yep.
I use the same photos
Yep.
and the same resume.
I
So
need some new photos.
I do too.
And I need to
should stop.
update my
I do too.
Because I'm getting back out there. I know I've been saying it a lot,
Hey.
but I'm getting back out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you what it was that sparked me. It was the red carpet and Angel putting up that clip.
The clip of yep.
Cause I kept
Gia.
watching. I was like, I did that. I did that.
And you got a lot of great feedback
y'all
on
need
that.
to see that clip. It's on my page.
From Better More.
From Better More. Y'all gotta see.
That's when me and Janae met each other.
Yeah.
From Better More Production.
That's
Yep.
where we met each other,
I remember seeing you behind the bar in that one scene. And I said, "Who's this bitch?" It's like,
he did say that.
I didn't say it like that, but I was wondering who she was, honestly, because she was doing a great job. So, yeah, and then you was hiding behind the bush. Wasn't that you hiding behind the bush with your scarf on? She was being sneaky in Better More. Better More is actually available on YouTube if you look it up.
Yes.
Just type in Better More, MORE, all together, all one word. It comes up. It's a soap opera series.
Oh, cute.
It was a pilot soap opera, so it was really good.
It was.
So I know we're running kind of short on time. So Kelsey, out of the 10 options, I know we went through 4 or 5. Pick the next. I'm not gonna say best one because they're all great.
Yeah.
Pick the one that you think stands out the most and will impact as well others who are in this industry.
It's number 10. What's mine won't miss me. Everything that is for you is never gonna not be for you.
That's right.
Never.
That's right.
Never.
Right.
Like that just, it doesn't happen. So even though it seems like it's been a year, I did a lot this year, but I didn't do nearly as much as, I could have or I wanted to.
Sure.
But it was a year of learning, and like everything that I got that came my way was meant to be mine.
That's right.
Everything that is going to continue to come my way will come in its own timing.
Right.
And I think that's just so easy to forget, but
It is.
Well, yeah, but it's understandable when you're as focused as you are in this
get caught
industry
up.
that you definitely get caught up, and it's hard to be able to remain on the same path, but also continue to keep yourself motivated. Because if other people are not motivating you, who's going to motivate you? If it's going to be yourself as your biggest supporter, then you have to know how to appropriately do it. Let's just say. So very important.
yeah.
So tell people where they can go to check out all 10 of your tips and feedback.
So you guys can go check out my blog if you're an actor or anything close to that. I'm figuring out life together and all of my struggles and whatnot, because there are a ton. It's called actingout.me.
Actingout.me.
Yep.
So yes, make
I'm
sure
gonna
y'all check
try
it
and
out.
update it more often now.
And now that you're
I
going to
promise.
LA, I hope that you do so we can keep a way to connect with you, because that's going to be very, very, very important for us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, and thank you for that, by the way, Kelsey. Thank you for those tips.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, before we do head out, if we have time, I would love to show one more quick clip and just quickly talk about it, because this, I love me some Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. And I'm a huge supporter of some of the cast. Now, this scene went pretty viral for many different reasons. So if y'all watch Housewives of Atlanta, you'll know after you see this clip, all I'm going to say is NeNe closet. You know what I'm talking about. So we're going to show this clip real quick and then come back and talk about it. Take a look.
Candy, go see it. I'm going. Candy, you better bring your. Don't try to Candy.
Let me see this damn closet.
Portia, don't go in my closet. My closet is not together.
Oh my goodness. I go to Swag all the time, and I know it's designed after her closet. I want to see it too. Give me the rest of it.
Stiffy, go get them and bring them out. My closet is my best.
All right. Ooh, this is where it's at. Right here.
Y'all gonna make me get fight.
Nah, let your friends go. These are your friends.
Shut up, bitch.
Y'all try on
bitch. You gonna get the argument. Hey, I'm gonna cuss y'all out and put y'all out of my closet, because all y'all trying to be nosy.
I love it. This is gold.
Yes. At the end of the day, don't go. What happened? Get the out of my closet, bitch. Don't play with me, motherfucker. I will you up. NeNe, stop this. She clipped it. She pregnant. Don't do that, mother. Don't. Let me go. Come on, let me go.
Take my mic out.
You said to them several.
So, yes. Now, we didn't show the rest of the clip because NeNe tried to defend herself, but we'll talk about it real quick. So, what do y'all saw the clip, and those of you who watched the show saw it live when it was aired. You seen how NeNe reacted when Portia and, I almost called her Kenya. Girl, she not on the show no more. When Portia and Candy ran into NeNe's closet. Now, NeNe did have a little reaction moment where you saw her pull the camera guy's shirt and rip it. But tell me, do y'all think she went off a little bit on the deep end, a little too extreme, or do you think she acted accordingly?
Well, first of all, I would love to
see her closet.
No, I would love to have Tanya back on the show.
Right.
Hey, Tanya.
Tanya.
I would love to have her back on the show to ask her about
The good stuff will really happen.
You know what I'm saying? In person.
Right.
Because, you know, we
it's
just
different.
get the edited
version.
But,
it's different.
You know, I see both sides. I understand what NeNe is saying, but at the end of the day, like, you've known Portia and Kandi for a very long time. You call Portia your little sister. So what if your closet is a mess? Everybody, their closet does not look like all together and situated every day of every minute. It's a closet. Let them go and see the now. I can see not wanting the cameras to go. Okay, I get that. But your friends, you really want to wild out on your friends because your closet is a mess? Are you serious right now?
She said though that it was in general only because the closet was a mess. Like with the interview with Andy after.
It's not presentable. It wasn't presentable.
But I mean, like,
she's the owner of a clothing store boutique, so she felt like her stuff was scattered, and she had items that were not, put up or put together yet.
I mean, I really think there was something in that closet she didn't want anybody to see. That's all that looked like. There was something.
Right.
Yeah, there were some things that she just didn't want to see.
Nah.
Or have questions.
She definitely turned up way too much on her friends. Now, like
she
I said, the camera,
that's
something different. I get it. You don't want everybody in the world to see your closet.
Okay.
Not your friends, though.
Well, let me. And I've been so rocky with NeNe for years. I've been flip flopping. I like her sometimes. Sometimes I don't like her. She can piss me off sometimes, and sometimes she makes me laugh, but she's crazy. So let me tell you this. One thing about NeNe is I completely and I 100% support her for this for different reasons. For those of you who watch the show, know this season's mostly centered around her problems in her marriage right now. Not only between her and Greg and their relationship, but because Greg has some sort of cancer or disease that he's suffering right now, and he's been going through chemo, and the whole season's been following their story. But they've also had troubles in their marriage while he's going through this tough time. Very tough. So she's opened up more than any other season. She's literally cried on this season a lot. She's had some support, no support, different levels of support from these girls. And one thing people have to understand with reality TV is it's not all what it's cracked up to be. What you see is not exactly what happens. It's edited. So being that same episode, before that clip, she was downstairs with the girl and had an argument with Marlo, who was one of her best friends / sisters. I didn't get it either. She must have been like up here with something because it set off like this.
They had the argument beforehand?
Marlo and NeNe had a back and forth because she felt like Marlo was not given the right amount of support for different reasons, considering what she was going through and her husband was going through, when it's not true. Marlo was.
And
she explained it very well.
She did.
So
NeNe want to be the, but what about me?
Yeah, NeNe did go. Well, yeah. Oh, did they? Well, so you mean when we just showed? Okay, so y'all may not have seen if it blocked, but what I will say, if you're watching the replay, you won't see it. But look on Bravo's website; it's on there and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Type in NeNe closet. So her reaction in that moment, everything that happened that night, she was in tears. She had a moment where she stepped upstairs and she stepped away. Now, for about an hour's time coming from NeNe, about an hour's time went by where she had an agreement with production that no one was allowed in her room except for two girls, Cynthia and Marlo. That's it. Nobody else was allowed to come up in her room except for them. Production agreed, and they said, we won't bring the cameras upstairs. We'll let you have your moment to have this hash out discussion and deal with it because you're going through an emotional state right now. So then the production team decided to let Portia and Kandi go upstairs, not being a part of their agreement, but they said, go ahead and go upstairs. Camera guys followed. So NeNe has said at that point she was already pissed, but she didn't stop them from filming. She said, go ahead, y'all already in my room. Just keep it in this general area. Don't go wandering around. I don't want you in my room, okay? Then you see what happens, and what happens, even though it's edited, is what really happened. Kandi and Portia decided to take a look in their closet for fun because they haven't never seen NeNe's closet before. But the reason she went off was because of the emotional stuff that was going on, but because production went in there with cameras. There was actually two. You didn't see. One guy was already in the closet and one was walking in. Two production people in the closet with cameras filming live. You know how production is. They're shady. They will surely show that crap that they got on footage in a heartbeat and put NeNe on blast for whatever reason. She doesn't want people to see her closet. It's her house. It's her closet. If she says stay out, then stay out. But for the fact that they had an agreement with production and they didn't follow through with that agreement, they went ahead and tried to be shady and go ahead and film what they could film. She got upset about it. That's the reason why she got so upset.
I mean, like I said, I get the cameras, but her aggression was towards Portia and Candy. She ripped the one man's shirt off. Okay.
But she never made it keep in mind, she never made it inside the closet and even touched Candy or Portia. She was never near them.
But her verbiage was towards
her
them.
Demeanor, right. Her actions was right.
But why? Is my question. I mean, if these are your friends.
She probably assumed that if she can get them out, the cameras would get out too.
I mean, also though, like, they're friends, yes, but like they're all on a TV show together.
Right.
They're all there, like, having the same disagreements, having the same arguments, and then having things that are caused to look like arguments. Like, they play games together.
Right.
They're not friends. Like,
right.
They might not be like family, you know. And if she's going through a tough time already, on top of all that, you know, it just probably just pushed her over the edge. Like, there are no boundaries then. Like, everything she said, they just took out the window.
And that's the caveat to production. No matter what agreement you make, you signed a contract. So guess what? They're going to film what they film. And if you don't like it, it's too bad. You signed a contract. You gave them permission to do what they want to do, and whatever the producers agree to do, you really have to live up to their decisions. So agreement or no agreement, you should have locked your closet door if you knew that you were going to have filming in the house, period, that day. Lock the rooms that you don't want to be shown.
You know, my thing, while I completely understand what NeNe is going through, I feel like she's being very selfish and being a brat with this. People go and deal with people that have a whole lot less than you, deal with a whole lot more, and they still don't treat people the way that you treat people and talk to them the way that you talk to them and have this woe is me attitude. Even down to Tokyo. Bitch, why did you even go?
Right.
If you so stressed out and so all of this, and you want to take it, you're not allowing yourself to have fun, and you're bestowing your energy, your horrible energy on everybody else. You should have stayed with Greg. You should have stayed in Atlanta. Like, I'm not about to feel sorry for you and you being a sourpuss. Like, bitch, get over it. We all deal with stuff. You're not the only one whose husband is suffering with cancer. He's still alive. He's still able to walk around and do for himself. Yes, you have to step up and be your wife. God damn it. I mean, you're complaining about things that people do every day.
There's a lot of caretakers out there who deal with stuff like this.
You understand what I'm saying? And like, it's your purpose for really zapping out is no purpose at all. So I don't feel no type of way about none of that shit. And that's just me being honest. Like, I really feel like it's all centered around what NeNe is going through. Like, what NeNe feels. And you're not the one that's actually dealing with this. Like, Greg is looking death in the face. Can you imagine what the fuck is going on in his mind? And then you got to deal with your spoiled ass talking about, oh my God, it's just so much for me. Bitch, what about me? Like, I'm the one that's actually in pain. I'm the one that's got to go to these doctor's offices. I'm the one that's so used to being a provider, and I can't do that. And you, in every way, will emasculate that man by showing off with it. You know, it just,
Well, that was, I'm going to tell you, that was quite a clip, and it did cause a lot of controversy. Stay tuned, people, because actually for the reunion that's coming up very soon, because they just finished filming it 2 or 3 weeks ago, you're going to see some crazy stuff that goes down. And NeNe actually, after the reunion, unfollowed everybody on the show. So except for one person, and I hear it was, what's her name? Gosh, I cannot think of it.
Not the drunk one.
I'm so sorry. I can't think of it. But it's only one cast member. Yes, the drunk one. Shamari. The only one that she stayed friends with was Shamari. Because Shamari was not that involved.
So what?
But I honestly don't understand reality TV.
I love it. I don't understand it, but I love it. It's so fun to watch, and it's more fun to know what happens behind the scenes, because that's the good shit. That's true. That's the good, juicy stuff. Yeah. So make sure y'all tune in. Watch it every Sunday at 8 p.m. Yes, Bravo. I'm giving y'all a shout out to the viewers. But go online and watch some of the clips too. Just look up NeNe closet incident. I guarantee it'll pop up. It's trending for like 2 weeks now. So you'll see it. But anyways, thank you all for tuning into Out the Box Radio Show. Joining us today for a lot of topics. We went pretty far with our topics today. Yeah. A great debate, if you will. And then some helpful tips from Kelsey for those who are in the acting industry. So make sure you check out her blog online as well. Give us the blog again, Kelsey.
Actingout.me.
actingout.me, and she will be keeping it updated when she is in LA.
Yep.
So make sure y'all tune in and give us your Instagram again.
I was just gonna say because I typically post when I update it, so you guys can see it there. It's at It's All Gooden, GOODEN.
It's All Gooden. Yes.
When they become famous, they gonna look up these episodes and be like,
yeah, I think about that a lot.
And you know what? Guess what? I don't give a. Because I said what I said in my NeNe voice.
Said what I said. Well, yes. And then make sure y'all follow Out the Box Radio Show. We post a lot of stuff on our page all the time. Clips from our interviews, clips from our shows, and, of course, a lot of photos. So make sure you tune in on Instagram at OTB_radio show. For all the updates, we have a couple special guests coming on. Actually, in a few weeks, we have a special guest from T.I.'s BET show, The Grand Hustle. We have the winner of the show who's going to be interviewing. She's in Atlanta. She will be calling in. Looking forward to that. And we have a few more on the books. So make sure y'all don't lose us. Stay tuned for what's coming up every Thursday on Out the Box Radio Show right here on RadioOnFire.com. Jonah, you going to sing us out with your... Oh, wait. There you go.
LA, I can't believe we fell in love in the city of LA. LA, the city of angels, we can take you anywhere. Every time I go to LA, I play that song, so I'm gonna give him. I
love that song.
You know what song?
Yeah,
I
love it.
I love that song, and I play it every time I go.
Well, all right, that was a great way to go. So we'll see y'all next Thursday. Thanks again for tuning in Out the Box Radio Show.
Bye.
LA.
See ya.